So we have been asked hundreds and hundreds of times over the course of us being married, basically, when are you having kids? Is Sarah pregnant? Do you want kids? Things like that, along those lines. And it's understandable why people would ask that, because, I mean, they're invested in our lives, and we're very open, I feel like, on this channel, and very honest with where we are and things like that.
And this is not like a clickbait video or in any way. This is a real topic that I actually wanted to talk about for a while now.
With every comment that we get asking that, like, it's uncomfortable in a lot of ways, and I guess for multiple reasons. Maybe you can expand on that.
There's like a lot, I think, going around this, but like this is the one thing that I just do not want to be open about on the channel, because I feel like, especially recently, we are very open, so that's not really something that I have a problem with. But I feel like when we are open, it's always about something that we feel like can help maybe other people. And this is one of those topics where it's a personal topic, but it's not talking about when we're having kids or if we want to have kids. It's not something that's going to help someone else. It's just really being personal.
Right.
And so that's one of the reasons why I don't want to talk about it, or why I never answer that question, because like Jordan said, I get asked a lot. I get messages all the time,
and it's not, and it's understandable. Like, you get, I don't know, like, I get why. Like, I would be curious if I was on the other end of this. I would be like, yeah, I wonder when they're gonna have kids.
And we're not like annoyed or angry when we get those kinds of questions. We know that it's coming out of a place of like love and excitement, and I think we both appreciate that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it does get uncomfortable because I don't want to be open about that.
And it's kind of hard because we like responding to people's messages and comments and stuff. And so it's always like, how do you say that in a comment? Like, I don't really want to answer, you know? So that's kind of why we're making this video. And also, like, just asking somebody directly, are you pregnant or do you want kids? If you really think about it, normally people don't really think about this that deeply because it's just a question. But that, like, imagine if somebody, like, and I'm not saying that this is us or anything like that, but imagine if somebody, like, couldn't have kids and wanted to have kids. And then people online are just like, hey, when are you having kids? Do you want kids? Do you see how that could be, like, really...
It can be very hurtful,
right,
unintentionally, but I think even on a personal level, and I think this is another reason why I don't like to encourage people asking me, or really anybody else, that question, because I have had a lot of people who have been close to me who have dealt with infertility issues or miscarriages, and have just kind of gone through that with them, of knowing how painful it can be to be constantly asked, when are you having a baby? When are you having a baby?
Right.
When maybe they're trying and can't. So that's another thing. It's like, even if that's not my situation, I've just kind of seen that pain and know how hurtful that question can be.
So seeing that kind of being asked online kind of feels like that kind of direct question, even if we don't want to answer it for different reasons, it's just kind of like, well, we also don't want to answer it because people probably shouldn't really be asking that question. You know what I mean?
So I think another reason why I do not like this question in general is just because I feel like pretty much as soon as we got married, it was immediately, okay, wedding's over, when are you having a baby? Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Like, people literally just be like, are you pregnant yet? I'm like, do I look pregnant? But it was just constantly being bombarded. There was no like time to just enjoy being newlyweds without people constantly wondering, and it kind of did put pressure on me. I even got a message once of just saying, I don't think you're ever having kids, because I had been married a year and I wasn't having a baby yet. And I was like, that's kind of a weird thing to say, but in a lot of ways I feel like that was robbing my joy of pre-parenthood. Like, I honestly wouldn't change anything about us not having kids yet. 3 years in, I have so enjoyed just being able to experience marriage without having those extra like life-changing events. Like having a baby is a big deal. Your life changes, and that might come eventually, but right now, like I want to be able to enjoy and just have joy in where we are in our life right now, and constantly having this outside pressure of when are you having kids? Are you having kids? Can you have kids? Like all these questions, it makes me just honestly think about it all the time. Like I realized I was doing that, and it was just becoming so stressful that I was like, well, maybe I don't want to have kids because I'm so stressed out about it. It's ridiculous, but I just felt like it was kind of robbing my joy of where I am in life. And
Right.
a lot of my friends who have kids, they'd be pushing on the other side of saying, don't have kids yet, like enjoy this time, take all the time you want. And so it was just like both sides just telling me when I should or shouldn't have kids.
Right, like
And
everybody has an opinion about it.
right,
But,
and
I mean, that's the internet, and that's what.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like we're upset or anything. It's just it's one of those things where it's like, we know this is like our lives. We've basically lived our entire lives online, and so it's not surprising at all. It's just something that like I kind of wanted to address or whatever, because I can see how it affects Sarah and stuff like that. And so if honestly, like if we, well, you know, if we do get how do I say that? If we get pregnant, you're the one who gets pregnant. I always thought that was weird. If Sarah ever gets pregnant, like I'm probably not going to make a big deal about it online, because I mean honestly I'm torn. I don't really know how to feel about like having my child in videos and just or like anything really. And I know that's probably really weird, but this is something I'm like really torn about. I don't know, I don't know when that time comes, like how will I feel, because I feel
like we're just gonna cross that bridge when we get
Right.
there. And right now, like I feel like I have kind of let go of thinking about it so much, and it's kind of lifted a weight off of me having to think about that so much. And I'm like, let's just not think about it right now. Let's just enjoy where we are and cross that bridge when it comes.
But also, like, you can see from what we've said in our other videos, like, me and Sarah, we worked through stuff, just kind of like personality, ways of growing up and stuff like that, trying to have that come together and be, unified and like, how do I say this, like peaceful or something, like just kind of where we figured it out. I feel like has been extremely, extremely helpful. And at that point, I don't think that having like a child while we were trying to figure things out, I feel like that would have been like made it a lot harder. And so,
or maybe even postponed it.
Right.
It could have just been.
And I'm not saying that like children are like a burden or anything like that. I'm just saying it definitely adds an aspect of your life when you're already adding aspects of your life that you have never experienced before. I think for us, I'm not saying this for everybody, but for us it was really helpful to just kind of be able to focus just on each other for a little while to figure things out. And
if you're different and you wanted to have kids immediately after you got married, then like that's wonderful.
Right, that's actually awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, but everybody's different, and whether you're have kids immediately or you wait 10 years or somewhere in between, like it's going to be different for everyone.
Right.
But I think the important thing is to like let them have that. And so I think that's really the most important thing.
I think the thing about being on the internet that has helped me immensely with how I view people on the internet, like people that I enjoy watching, because I enjoy watching a lot of different kinds of people, it's really helped me with my perspective of, oh, these are just people. Like when I was growing up and I didn't have that perspective, it was kind of like I felt like it was okay to say anything or ask anything because it's not, they're behind a screen. It's not like, it's not real. You know what I mean? But being online for this long and like having that perspective now after, being huge fans of like people now, it's really helped me a lot to just be like, man, people are just figuring stuff out. They just happen to post videos online. That perspective and that viewpoint has really helped me to just see the humanity in people online.
So when we ever have kids, I'm sure you guys will know about it. So
Yeah.
just wait for the announcement. It's kind of a hard thing to hide.
Yeah, it's not like we're gonna be like hiding away or anything. It's just, you know, I just don't feel like it's. I don't know. I still don't know, but we'll all learn together what we decide, how we decide to do stuff, if when. And I know most everybody out there has great intentions on like wanting to know, and we've said this a million times in this video. I just want to make it clear, like, we're not upset at anybody. It's just, I guess I'm just trying to bring up the topic of just because this is online and just because you can ask somebody something, and I found myself doing this a lot, and I have to like reel it back in, like, oh, just because I want to ask somebody doesn't mean that I should always ask everything that I want to ask or say everything that I want to say, because even the most innocent question, like if you think about it, it's like, wait, oh, maybe I shouldn't ask that, you know? And that goes for offline and online, just all lines. Okay. All right, well, we will talk to you guys next week. I hope this didn't come across as like weird. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, we'll find out in the comments when everybody asks you if you're pregnant. I'm kidding. All right, see you guys. Bye.
Yeah, I think a funny thing I should have said though in there was when you're like, when someone asks, "Are you pregnant?" You're like, would I really say, even if it was, like, it's not like I'd say yes now. You get a comment, "Are you pregnant?" And I'm like, yes!
It's like, wait, why didn't you
why
hold
didn't
off?
I do a better announcement than that?
That's funny.